I tried to go film a video and I was hitting the ball so poorly that I felt like I could not break 110. It's probably not the reality, but it felt like that. So I thought it would be interesting if I went out to play an old course that when I first started golfing, I recorded myself playing golf here. And I would compare myself now, when I'm a much better golfer, hopefully, to back then. And show you guys the difference of what actually is the difference between scoring back then when I was barely breaking 100. I don't even know what I scored that round versus now. And talk to you a little bit about the mindset difference to my approach of playing now versus back then. It's hard. It's my local municipal course, so I'm not used to a couple things on that. One, it's quite short. I don't even think it's 6,000 yards. And the greens are going to be very slow compared to what I'm used to. So let's just kind of go out and have some fun. I've not warmed up, so I think this is going to be a bad hit. Well, that's why I have a 7-iron in my hand now. It's fine. Wasn't struck that well. I think it might have rolled into a bunker. Oh, and I broke my tee. That's a good start. So my lie is pretty cooked. I got a big old hill in front of me. It's not really upslope, but it's in this rough weeds, and I got a big hill in front of me. I got 80 yards or so to the front, so I think I can just play it kind of normally. My stance is pretty awkward, but just don't be scared. That's kind of the key with awkward shots. It's having confidence that you can hit it and not be scared about something going wrong. If something goes wrong, it goes wrong, but I can't control that. I can just worry about hitting it well. And I hit it well. And we're on. See? Confidence. Well, so I have a prediction on where the scoring differences are really going to be in between now, on this video versus the last one. And I haven't really even watched that other video. I just made sure that I had it. But I'm imagining, one, I'm gonna get probably more green irregulations than before. But that's not really gonna be the big difference. The big difference, I think, is probably gonna be putting and not losing the ball. And I think a lot of just kind of wasted flubbed shots. Oh, like I said, they are slow. All right, I gotta adjust to the speed. I feel like if I hit that on my course, it would have been 40 feet past the hole, but that's fine. Oh, now the difference between scoring now versus then is really the way that I approach the golf hole, right? I think about it a lot differently because I know my game a lot better, but I don't automatically pull out a driver like I imagine I probably did back then. Damn, this ground is hard. So I have a debate now. Now the difference between playing a short course versus playing a course that you normally play, right? So normally I like to play around 64, 6,700 yards. I think that's a good distance. Versus this, which is like 5,000 yards, it really comes down to the tee shot, right? So if I'm not taking advantage of the distance that I have, my scoring probably is going to be pretty similar for the most part, right? Because now this hole, I could choose a driver to try to bomb it over those trees, right? And one, there's a guy mowing the lawn out there, so I don't want to hit him. But if I miss left, it's out of bounds. I can miss right. I can't miss short. So I could take a 7-iron and try to hit it into the middle of the fairway, which is also my debate. But I'm worried about hooking my drive, which I have been recently. And I'm in the wind. So the debate is hitting an iron or hitting a drive and trying to hitting it just up there past all the hazard. I think I'm just gonna choose a driver. And the reason for that is I think I could just ignore all of the problem areas and hit it past anything that I need to hit it past if I could get this tee into the ground. Now the hole is 313 yards away or something like that. What I need to do is carry it 250 past all this stuff. Oh, and that is perfect. Skip through, we're in the rough, have a decent look at it. I have about 160 yards, and I hate this distance. So that's one of my problems. I hate the distance around 100 yards. Then I don't have a good club for it. And I had a good drive. Let's try to take advantage of it. Oh my God, I thinned it. Wow, can't take advantage of nothing now. Told you I'm hitting it bad. Now typically if you're playing on greens that are kind of under construction like this, whatever they're doing to it, you know, you can just take an automatic 2-putt, but we're gonna try to put this out. It's harder to adjust to slow greens than it is to fast greens. And that's because hitting it softer is easier than hitting it harder, because you need to relearn the proper speed for everything. Now the defense to this course is out of bounds, right? So you can easily hit it out of bounds on most holes because it's a very narrow, short course. So on this hole, left is out of bounds, too long, around 200 yards. There's a creek there, out of bounds, right? If I hit it too far, if I try to go over the creek, which I easily can, and I go right, out of bounds, right? And if I go left, I'm gonna hit it onto a group of people. So I'm imagining past me probably would have pulled the driver out and try to, like, you know, hit it to the green is a possibility. If there wasn't a group over there, I would probably pull up my 3-wood and try to sail it up there. But instead, I think I might just pull out a 7-iron and lay up and then just get it on the green from there. I hit that abysmally, but thankfully, it doesn't need to go very far. Like I said, my ball striking is trash right now. Let me also talk to you about how to get through a round where you're unconfident with your ball striking. Because right now, what I'm trying to do is to turn my mind off about thinking about the golf swing. I mean, you never want to do that on the course. You only really want to think about course management, but it's very easy to get wrapped up in your golf swing, especially when you're not hitting it well, and try to make changes and tweaks, and your friend is telling you, oh, you lifted your head up, hey, move the ball back. It doesn't work, right? Because you haven't practiced it, and then you're just in your head about your golf swing as opposed to playing golf. So now all I'm doing is trying to let my body take over the golf swing. I'm not mentally trying to think about it. I'm just, body is trying to do all the work. Half swing, I am going to try to swing less, at least my backswing, because I know for me, my backswing can get me into trouble if I'm over swinging, and there's more room for error going from way up here versus like down here, even though in reality, I know my backswing is gonna look pretty full. But that's how I get through having a bad ball striking round, by mentally turning my brain off and only thinking about what do I want this to happen, and then letting my body do the rest, which is kind of my approach, but it's a different approach because I don't want to think about, I can easily get wrapped up in the fear of hitting a bad shot, and then I end up hitting a bad shot. So I'm really just trying to turn my brain off compared to the golf swing and just let my body do what it knows how to do. Oh, what did I tell you? I'm hitting it so poorly. You know what? Old me may beat me today. I missed the green. The other thing with a bad ball striking round is really kind of like delusional confidence. You need to kind of tell yourself that, hey, I can do this. Because if you're telling yourself, I can't do this, you're never gonna do it. So I am just constantly repeating in my brain that, hey, I know how to do this. You've had great rounds. This may not be one of them in the end, but hey, let's see if we can just hit a great shot right now. I don't need to think about my final score. I don't need to think about past me playing the same course. I just need to think about me right now hitting this 35-yard chip shot. All right, pretty decent. A little tap in. Let's go knock that 2-footer in. take that. The other thing to remind yourself when you're having a bad ball striking round, you know, relative to your other rounds, is, hey, those rounds are gonna happen. That is golf, and that's why we like golf, and that's why we hate golf. Even if I'm a single digit handicap, I think right now I'm an 11, I could still go out and shoot a 106. It's probably not gonna happen, but I could in theory, right? Because there are just gonna be days where you are off and your handicap is based off of what, your 3 best rounds, right, out of 20. But if I'm typically shooting in the low 80s and I go out and shoot a 105, that round's an anomaly. If I'm typically shooting in a 105 and I shoot in the 80s, that round's an anomaly. So if you're having a bad ball striking round, you have a really bad round, it is what it is. You need to get that round out of the way so you can go back to having good rounds. Now, I can't miss right here because that is out of bounds. And I got this tree in my way, so I can't really hit a fade. I mean, I can't hit a draw, so I'm gonna hit a fade. And I'm gonna try to not fade it too much. So I'm gonna aim for the left of the green. Ooh, we're very close to the hole. We love to see it. I missed the left, which is fine. Oh. Oh, I actually didn't miss left, I'm just short. Pretty good. So you see, that is golf. Sometimes you shank it out of bounds on the last hole, and the next hole, you hit it to 5 feet. Saw that? That was risky. Take the flag out. You don't have to worry about nothing. But now this is one of my most hated golf holes that I've never enjoyed. I've never liked it. It's a par 5. It's super narrow, surrounded by out of bounds on both sides. So if you hit it left, out of bounds. If you hit it right, out of bounds. I mean, now it's decently long. I think what it used to be, they didn't have this tee box here. So I think you're going to see myself up there on those tee boxes. But whenever you're using an iron off the tee, do you ever just go around looking for broken tees, smoker looking for a cigarette butt, just to get one last little hit off of it? That's what I feel like sometimes when I'm looking for tees off the box. Anyway, 7 iron, have confidence. I'm hitting it off the toe every time, dude. But it's in the fairway, so that's all that matters. But I really got to figure that out. Now, I really don't like this hole. It's extremely narrow. You go right, you're out of bounds. You go left, you're out of bounds. The ball's lost. All right. Do you know how many times I've seen club throws, club slams, and broken clubs on this hole? I'll be on one of the other holes and I watch people tee off from back there and they just slam their club. I seen one dude, he actually snapped his golf club in half. Why? Because they choose a driver off that tee because they think par 5, that's the driver, it's long. And then they hit it out of bounds. Why? Because the fairway is like 30 yards across. You know, most of them have a difficult time hitting an iron to that narrowness. So, if you're ever in a position where out of bounds is kind of everywhere and it's a long hole, pull down the iron and just play it. Do not try to take advantage of it, right? I don't need to go and try to get an eagle on this hole. Why? Because it's not gonna do me any good. I mean, it would, but most likely I'm gonna hit it out of bounds. A little gopher over there. I don't know if you can see him, but he's watching me to counteract it. I played the fade. Now we are on the green, which we're happy about. I didn't think it actually made it, but it did. It's always a good thing. So what I'm gonna do, when I have a downward sloping putt, and it's sloping that way and downhill, I'm gonna actually count off how far it is. So it's about 36 feet. The difficult thing is I don't know how to judge 36 feet downhill on this type of hole, because 36 feet downhill on mine would be it would like be, you know, a gentle tap, rolling quite slow. So I need to judge it correctly. I think I'm probably going to play it around 25 feet in my mind. They're pretty good. It's 116 yards, slightly uphill to the front, so probably around 118. Confidence. If you haven't seen my previous videos about pausing, breathing, and resetting PBR, go watch them. The connection is still not there. It should be on. Got a long put uphill now. Let's go measure it out. Around 30 feet uphill. I mean, there's a steep uphill right here. I guess I'm gonna play at like 40 feet. Maybe not that much, but it's slow. So I guess I'm thinking about 40 feet, I guess. I'm imagining past me. I probably posted around, that was, I don't know. I'm guessing gonna be decent for where I was actually playing at that time, which I'm imagining was probably like high 90s, probably around 100. And I probably posted around where I probably shot like a high 40s, right? And I was like, oh, that's pretty good. Let me post it online. I don't even know if that video's still online anymore, right? But anyway, the big difference between what I was scoring then versus now, well, let me hit this putt and then talk about it. Another little tap in. See, I'm so worried about those putts because if I don't hit them well, then we are left in a bad position. Because my old, I mean, it literally would have flown over the green at my course. I am gonna pull out driver here, even though I'm debating if I want my 3-wood instead, because I'm worried about it hitting it actually too long. I think it's 291 to the green, but if I hit it to the right, out of bounds. That's kind of, you catch the theme. If I hit it to the left, I'm in the maintenance shed, out of bounds. I could hit it past all of the hazards, like the stuff on the left, I could hit it past that, and the wind is blowing that way, so I think it would actually help out a little bit with that. And I think even if I hook it, which I don't want to think about, I can hook it far enough past this stuff, but a 3-wood might just be a little bit of a safer play. I'm imagining past me had a driver on this hole, and I probably sliced it to the right. Hopefully it's not long. Ooh, hopefully it sits. Ooh, pretty good. It had enough spin on it, even though. Another birdie chance. Let's see what we could do. Probably. Oh, damn it. 95. Oh my God, I hit that terribly. Hopefully it covers. Ooh. And there we go. And now, final hole. I don't think they had this green last time I filmed. I don't know, I think I looked and it was like April or something, maybe March, maybe February, I don't know. Point is, it was a long time ago and they didn't have this here. So it's about 240 to that tree in the middle down there, into the wind. So I really wish I had a 5-wood, but if my 4-iron is working, it would be perfect because I need to hit it around like 220 to have a good look into the second shot. because it's over a hazard. So you have to, I don't want to lay up again. My little soft chip 3 wood, I think will get the job done just fine. Oh, I definitely whiffed way right. That's pretty bad. All right, don't do that. Now, I hit that pretty poorly, but the golf gods have given me an opportunity to redeem myself, and I have a window. It's 180 yards to the green, and I'm feeling confident that I can make it there with the 7-iron, even through these trees, right in the gap, so I'm gonna do that. Now, before I say this, I would say the biggest difference between me scoring now and me scoring back then is I recognize the out of bounds and the really bad shots more often, right? Now, besides skill level, I'm thinking much more about how do I not lose the ball, probably way more than I did back then. I was probably as scared of losing the ball, but I probably did not think about, hey, why don't you just pick a club that won't introduce losing the ball into it? And now I'm about to hit a shot where I could potentially lose the ball. But you know, it's a nice hole. Let's kind of go for it. Let's have some fun. And that's pretty good. Should be on. I couldn't see it land, but. Are you kidding me? Besides the last shot, which I'm still confident that I could hit due to the shot shape and the window, I'm imagining I'm probably taking on a lot less risky shots than before. Besides my green in regulation, which is a short course, so, kind of doesn't count, but still counts. Besides my skill level actually obviously improving, I'm just taking less risk in my shots, even on a short course, where you can get overly confident and overly cocky that, hey, it's a short course, I should try to take advantage of it. Well, you can if you're confident off the tee, but the only difference between playing the back tees and the front tees is how far your tee shot goes. The rest, you're probably gonna be pretty equal based on the distance of your tee shot. And that's how golf course is designed. That's pretty bad. Too far. But ultimately, hopefully you learned something. Hopefully I noticed what I was doing differently, and hopefully I can make this video again next year and talk shit about current version me, about how I scored so bad this time around. Oh! Come on, man. A little bogey to the end. That's not nice. It's all right. I'll see you.